Hello, everyone. I'm Nathaniel Bott here with Steven Olshansky. We're the State News football writers, and we're here previewing Michigan State 2-5 at home in rivalry game against Michigan Wolverines. They're number 2 in the nation, first in a number of statistical categories, top 10 in pretty much everything.
Really, yes.
What have you seen from Michigan, and how have they been able to be so good in so many different areas?
Their defense is just flat out suffocating. They'll suffocate you with blitzes. They'll suffocate you with just lining up against you, really, in general. They're first in, I think, first nationally in 5 different categories, and one being the best overall would be total defense. And they're first in scoring defense. They averaged, what was it, they had like 10 points or something like that. But it was, they're first in total defense, first in scoring defense. They're first in pass rush defense. They're first in nearly everything. And the other thing is they pretty much suffocate you usually on third down. So when you bring up third down situations, that's usually when they're at their best, and they're not going to let you pick up yards.
Yeah, especially passing situations on the outside. Colton Strebling and Jordan Lewis, 2 senior guys, they've been flat out dominant, pretty much not allowing anything to go to either of those guys. And then, of course, Jabril Peppers kind of plays a few different positions on defense for him, but is the obvious playmaker, and their pass rush has been suffocating, like you said. Offensively for MSU, still kind of don't know who's going to be quarterback. Any ideas on who might start, and what do you see from the quarterback position?
But the injuries, D'Antonio talked about it in his press conference. It sounded like Damian Terry and Tyler O'Connor still fighting through a little bit of injury. I didn't say it directly, but that's what had happened the past couple of weeks, and he went over it briefly. But I would think Lewerke starts, and I think if Lewerke starts and plays, it's going to be a welcome to college football day for him because Michigan's also first in sacks, and that might be one of the biggest detriments, I think, to MSU. Trying to get any sort of offense going. They're really stagnant this year, and if Lewerke's just going to have no time to make any sort of plays, Michigan State's going to have a hard time being in this game.
Yeah, he's going to have to be pretty mobile like he's been the 2 times he's gotten some action in the games, and the offensive line still doesn't seem like they've put it all together, replacing 3 guys from last year. They've allowed quite a few sacks, quite a few negative yard plays. Other than that, you look at Michigan on offense. Wilton Spate comes in, wins the job in the summer. What have you seen from him? He's been a pretty calm leader for the Wolverine offense.
He hasn't been anything overly exciting. I would think he's been just kind of the guy that he's a good game manager, and he's got an arm to make the throws, and he's just I guess he's not going to be a phenomenal college quarterback, but he's going to be a good one, and one that's capable of winning them games when they need to. But he's nothing like a Braxton Miller or a JT Barrett type player. He's more of he's just going to beat you with his throws. I don't think he's anything overly special, but he's just more than adequate and capable of winning games.
I think it helps a lot that he's got 2 guys on the outside, and J.U. Chesson and Amado Darbo, who are just two of the best receivers in the Big Ten, and then you have arguably the best tight end in the country in Jake Butt. He's got a plethora of running backs in the backfield. Their rushing offense, I think, leads the Big Ten. So they're offensively, they're dominant. Defensively, they're dominant. It's going to be a tough day for the Spartans. They're going to maybe have to use some D'Antonio magic, some trick plays and whatnot. But, rivalry game, anything can happen. So what do you think is the score at the end of the game? What do you predict?
Well, Northwestern was able to put up 54 on this team that's struggling defensively, and if guys are trying to press too much, it could get ugly. And I would expect Michigan coming in with a vengeance. The way they lost last year, and the way their season is going this year, where they're right there for a college football playoff spot. So I would think they're going to try and prove a point in this one after Michigan State's kind of ended their seasons a couple of times now in the past 5 years. So I would think Michigan, probably hangs up the big point score. I would think 55-10.
Yeah, I think Michigan's certainly going to score over 30 in this game, even though Michigan State's defense, they're definitely better against the run than they are against the pass, but so is most of the teams that they've played, and they've been able to pass on them effectively anyway. So I think MSU and D'Antonio, they find a couple big plays here and there to keep it somewhat close, somewhat, exciting. But in the end, I think Michigan pulls it out 35-21. Just too much talent on both sides of the ball for the Spartans to really have any magic or have any real chance to blow out the Wolverines. That'll do it for us. Stay with our coverage on Twitter at @thesnooze_sports and follow our live blog during the game at statenews.com. We'll have post-game, pre-game stuff ready for you then. So, fuck.